Hello, hi everyone. Welcome back to Woo Can Cook. My name is Wesley, and this is a show where we are slowly cooking our way through all of the food from my childhood. Today we're diving back into our series dedicated to Vietnamese classics, with a shot at what very likely might be one of the most iconic pieces of Vietnamese cuisine in existence, at least here in the States, which is the banh mi sandwich. Iconically, the banh mi is known in my experience as a cheap bodega sandwich often found in corner stores in Asian neighborhoods for $5 or less. And I'm not exaggerating, when I was a kid, my dad used to pick these up in SF Chinatown for something like $2.50, which is pretty wild even for 90s pricing. Given all of the things that are in this sandwich, it should be something like 5 times that price. For those unfamiliar, the Vietnamese banh mi has, as you might expect, an endless number of variations that can be toyed around with. Most iconically, though, it contains a pickled daikon and carrot, topped with raw jalapeno, cucumber, cilantro, and then wrapped inside of, and this is critical, a soft French baguette roll. The banh mi can be paired with just a whole slew of different meats and proteins that you may choose from. Amongst some of my favorites are the duck pate banh mi, grilled sausage, lemongrass tofu, tofu pork, and many, many more. For our own version today, though, we'll be making my personal all-time favorite banh mi, which is a grilled lemongrass chicken done using a wok sear in lieu of a grill because I don't have a grill. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so diving right in, we're kicking things off here first with our chicken marinade, which from a flavor perspective, to my taste, is probably the most critical piece to a tasty banh mi. We're starting this off with 4 cloves of crushed and minced garlic, followed by a full stalk of lemongrass. Although these stalks look huge, the bit that we actually want from this lemongrass stalk is just the tender center part. I also like bruising this stuff pretty thoroughly with the back of my knife before mincing, just to open up their aromatic qualities a little bit more. Moving on next, this is 4 tablespoons or a quarter cup each of fish sauce and soy sauce going in, followed by 2 tablespoons of brown sugar for some malted sweetness, and finally the juice of half of a lime for some acidity. I'm mixing this all thoroughly with 5 medium chicken thighs, which in hindsight I do wish I had done with a Ziploc bag, which I almost always do with whole chicken thigh because it helps coat the chicken in the marinade more thoroughly. I have no idea why I didn't do that today. But in any case, I'm setting this aside to marinate for 30 minutes while we dive into our veggies next. Up first here, this is 2 jalapenos that I'm slicing up. I personally have always found the whole jalapenos in a banh mi sandwich specifically to be really spicy to my taste. I don't know what it is, it's just something about this specific context that makes a raw jalapeno in a banh mi a little overwhelming to me. So I'm de-seeding these, but if you like the heat, you can also keep them in. We do want to keep these as a whole round though, so if you are de-seeding, I would recommend slicing and then removing the seeds and pith because these half-moon shapes are just gonna get lost in the sandwich later. Up next, I'm doing a julienne cut to 3 carrots and 1 daikon radish for our pickling mixture. I'm doing this by first slicing in half to create a stable flat surface, then slicing into planks and shingling them over each other so that we may slice an even julienne. Now, I'll be honest, this is a lot of chopping, and I do think that the julienne cut is one of the more labor-intensive knife techniques. On top of this, more importantly, you can absolutely buy this pickled carrot and daikon slaw off the shelf. In hindsight, I'm not sure that this was 100% worth making it myself, but here we are though. Finally, rounding out our veggies, this is 1/2 of a cucumber that I'm slicing into planks. Iconically, these cucumbers in a banh mi should be kept raw, but I went ahead and threw this in with the rest of our pickling because I think it's just gonna add some nice flavor, but choose for yourselves accordingly. Moving on to our brine next, we're doing a quick brine today borrowed from the pickled shallot from our fried rice burrito recipe from a while back. I did end up doubling this on the stove, so don't mind the visual discrepancy here. This is 2 tablespoons of white sugar going in, followed by a 1/2 cup each of rice vinegar and apple cider vinegar. Then I'm rounding this out with a pinch of kosher salt, and over on the stove, I'm bringing this all to a gentle simmer over medium heat before combining with our carrot and daikon off heat. As promised, here we are doubling our brine recipe too. Ideally, we want this to pickle for a minimum of 24 hours, but if you're lazy and hungry like I am, I find that it's acceptable to dive into this after maybe 15 or 20 minutes or so, basically once it's cooled down. Last up, we're getting to the wok sear on our chicken thigh today, which is pretty straightforward. I'm heating my wok over medium heat, then adding our chicken thigh 2 to 3 pieces at a time and searing for 3 minutes on each side. Remember that our marinade has a lot of sugar in it, so we are going to see some char happening. This is totally normal. Ideally, I would like to see a little bit more flame happening with this wok hei here, but I also know that this is going to be challenging with the whole chicken thigh. In either case, the key to the smoky grilled qualities that we're trying to reproduce here is actually not the wok hei flame, but the char from the sear. Of course, aerosolizing water and oil in a wok hei will help with this, but it's not essential though, which is great news for folks who happen to be cooking on electric and induction ranges. Back over on the cutting board, I have a soft toasted French baguette roll here cut open, then topped with kewpie mayo and sriracha sauce to start. Then here's my jalapenos going in next. You'll notice, as I mentioned earlier, that those half moon cuts are truly just disappearing into the sandwich. Then here's my fresh cilantro going in next. I'm keeping a good amount of stem on these too. The stem of the cilantro contains all of its water, which means it also has all of its flavor. Those leaves are just for looks, y'all. Finally, here's my cucumber going in, followed by our carrot and daikon, and of course, last but not least, our lemongrass chicken thigh going on top, and we're ready to eat. Okay, so let me start by acknowledging that I have been eating banh mi sandwiches since I was maybe 7 or 8 years old. I remember my dad used to bring these home from work in San Francisco Chinatown, and we would pack them for school lunch for the next day. This sandwich for me is the pinnacle of Asian kid in a white school smelly lunchbox experience, and I am here for it, y'all. This sandwich, I'm not exaggerating, is probably one of the best sandwiches to ever exist. Let's review all of the details that make this sandwich superior to your friend's ham sandwich sitting next to you in the school cafeteria. First off, the soft French baguette roll is by far the superior bread to use for all sandwich making. It's not only soft with a crunchy bite, but also puffy and airy enough to hold all of the contents inside of your sandwich. Next, the cilantro is by far also the superior grain to add to any sandwich too. It's flavorful and aromatic, and I'm truly sorry for everyone that just tastes soap when they eat this stuff. Please, no more lettuce in sandwiches. It's flavorless and pointless and just makes your sandwich soggy. I don't get it. Finally, I feel like this doesn't need to be said, but grilled lemongrass chicken thigh shingled inside of a sandwich, I mean, it's just so aromatic, flavorful, smoky, umami, it's not even really a competition. Forget lunch meat from now on. Then top this all off with pickled carrot, daikon, and a little bit of heat from a raw jalapeno. This is the sandwich to end all sandwiches, y'all. End of discussion. Okay, so that's it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you give this one a shot. As always, like, comment, subscribe, share, be nice interneters, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Just hear those sleigh